Hey, what's up? I'm back. Well, this ought to be my last video before the eclipse, and I couldn't be more excited about the full moon. And I have had at least I've had two baths or showers, not baths. I'm taking showers now because I've explained about why I can't just get down into the bathtub anymore. You know, I have this fear of a fire breaking out while I'm in the bathtub. And so I do this thing before I'll even shower. I have to go outside and make sure the building isn't on fire and that no nearby building is on fire either. So it's been a miserable life ever since that happened, but I hope it will get better. And I hope that I will be able to spend Christmas with my mom again. These glasses are kind of making my nose itch. But right now I have the TV illuminating my face. Once again, I couldn't care less what's on it. And I just want to make a video before the eclipse to say that, I'm bouncing my bed linen and, hopefully I'll go somewhere today. But the most frustrating thing of all about my dad, now, to his credit, we did go eat out last night. But the most frustrating thing of all is how he not only doesn't mind living in this stupid apartment, but he wants to spend as much time as possible here. It's like I've stated before, it just doesn't feel like home to me. I mean, it never did really, but ever since that fire, that just kind of made me realize why I didn't like it and why I will never feel as comfortable here as I would in a house. And it's just so frustrating, when I live with someone who pretty much wants to just stay here and not do much of anything else unless he's working. Okay? And when he goes shopping, he just wants to go for one or two items, get in, get out, and just come back here ASAP, like it's an emergency. What is so wonderful about that screen right there, I will never understand. But, he's the kind of person, just like so many who lived here, that if this place burned down, he would just want to go pick up and move to another building in the complex, like so many people, and just get new stuff and get another TV and just pick up where he left off pretty much. Just watch the same ball game that he had on before. And, as I stated before, that's just what fulfills his life for some reason. Give him a TV with a ball game and he'll sit in his chair and watch it like there's nothing else going on in the world. He can block out everything else. But, I just miss my mom. I miss her. And I miss the excitement, that we have. I mean, even if it's... See, this is what he doesn't understand, and it really makes me mad, this health food kick that he's on. This, I want to eat salads all the time, which I will not touch a salad pretty much. I mean, only on rare occasions do I ever eat salad, and it has to be a very small amount, because I just think it was upsetting my stomach, I lost a bunch of weight the first year that I was here, and I had never been in worse health. That was around the time leading up to my hysterectomy. That was probably the worst time of my life. I lost a bunch of weight, and as I've stated before, well, I couldn't care less what I look like. So losing weight has never been my goal. Losing weight does not necessarily mean that you're healthy. Okay? So I was losing weight, and, my stomach was always upset. And once I figured out that it was primarily the salads, that were causing it, like eating too much salad, it's like I just never had any use for them. I honestly do not give a crap, how healthy, by the world's standards, a salad will make you. And I really resent the stereotype that women love salads. One time my dad ordered a salad at a Dairy Queen, and I ordered the 4-piece steak finger basket, as always. Well, this stupid bitch of a waitress, gave me the salad and him the 4-piece steak finger basket. Just because stereotypically a man would normally want meat and a woman would supposedly love salad. Well, sorry, that's not the way it is. You know, salad upsets your stomach, and I will not touch it, unless it's a very small amount and excludes a lot of ingredients. I almost never eat a salad. I will get a soup instead of a salad at Olive Garden. I just do not eat salads. I don't care what anybody says. Even if they did a study where everyone who ate salad all the time lived to be 80 or 90 years old, and everyone who didn't died by the time they were 50, I still would continue with my I hate salads life. You know what I'm saying? I would still not eat salads because my goal has never been to lose weight or to have a high quantity of life. Okay? I mean, if I reach 20,463 days of life, which both of my parents have blown way past that, I often think about that, how, what if my parents' lifespans were only 20,463 days? My dad would have died sometime in 2008. Yeah. And then my mom would have died about 2 years later in 2010. Which that would not be good. I love my mom. I care a lot about her. But I often think about that. What if no one lived past 20,463 days on this planet? And what's so magic about that number? Well, I'd rather not say, but the only clue I can give you is that unlike 2000, 1900 was not a leap year, okay? A new century has to also be divisible by 400. Okay, so I often think about that. My dad is so much older than 56 years and 9 days. And yet he's just like his mama. Just like his mama. He'll get, it's getting kind of strange to think about how, he's only 19 years younger than she was when she died. But she lived to be 88 years old. And would you believe that, if she could have lived to be 90 or 100, she would have done it. She would have, continued to live in and out of the hospital, with all her health problems. She still would have wanted to live on this earth well past 90 if she could have done it. And I think that's the way he will be. He's going to get to, well, I don't know if he will, but my point is, when you're his age, why would you really be thinking, how could I prolong my life? You know what I'm saying? Unless you honestly are not sure you're going to heaven. Why would you want to prolong your life? Considering all the bad things that can and do happen on earth, like what I've described. Okay? So F salads. I will not eat salads. And I hate the way, he used to try to force me to eat them, but then he figured out that I wasn't going to. And if he tried to push the issue, I would go back and live with my mom. But it's just so sad. It's like I don't have freedom. It's like I trade in one type of bondage for another. I go to my mom's house and I don't have a car to drive. And, she tries to control me in the way of telling me what to wear and that I have to wear makeup when I go somewhere with her because she's obviously ashamed of me, And then I come back over here and it's like my dad tries to control what I put in my mouth. She wants to control what I put on my mouth, as in lipstick. He wants to control what I put in my mouth by telling me I can't have sweets, I can't have candy, too much sugar. Just telling me, as a 38-year-old woman that I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Well, you know what? I'm not going to follow this health regimen or whatever, whatever he's buying at the GNC, Quest this, health food that. I don't really care, because it's not going to prolong your life even one day. If God has it in store for you to die at a certain age, and you're going to die at that certain age. I don't care what you're eating, what you're doing to try to stay alive. You're going to die. If God wants you to die at 20, you're going to die at 20. If God wants you to die by 50, you're going to die by age 50. Okay? And as far as I'm concerned, I will consider myself an old person once I reach 20,463 days of life. Yeah. So I guess that would be what? June 28th, 2039? So if I'm still alive by June 28th, 2039, which I don't know if my parents will still be alive, I will consider myself an old person. Okay? And, I hope I'm still alive by then. And I will be glad to live past that. But, it's like, seriously, why? Why prolong your life when you get really, really old? I don't quite understand it. In my case, when I think about, why do I want to be alive? Well, I like the way I look, but this health food stuff, it's just not for me. And going to the gym, it's just not something I want to do because, as I've stated, I have a hard time finding the motivation to shower now that I'm paranoid about the fire thing. So I don't want to do one thing to get one bit stinkier. I don't want to need a shower even one more time than I will have to anyway. You know what I'm saying? I value smelling good over looking good. Okay, and I have no use for anyone who thinks I should be skin and bones in order to be pretty or healthy. Okay, I have no use for that. Like, I don't want to get bigger and fatter, but anybody that thinks I should lose 100 pounds or, do everything in my power to achieve that or go to the gym every day, I have no use for them. And I will not go to the gym, because when you're stuck in survival mode, you don't have time for self-actualization. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to think, well, is this how I actually want to look? Is this how I actually want to be? And, another thing that people don't understand, I've talked about, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but the concept of the closer you are to something, the more you want it, okay? And I believe it works that way with gender dysphoria. That's why people are never more dysphoric than when they've had all the surgeries available that they can possibly have, but yet they're still not identical to the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? They've gotten to the end of the rainbow, but there's no pot of gold, okay? And no one is more dysphoric than someone who is F to M and has gone all the way through a phalloplasty. They have a big ugly scar on their arm, big unsightly scar. And they've had every surgery that's available, but yet they still are not identical to an actual male and they'll never produce sperm. You know what I'm saying? And their body only deteriorates because it wasn't meant to be that way, okay? And so the way I feel is there's this concept that a lot of people don't understand. And in that, the closer you are to something, the more you want to have it, okay? Nobody wants to be number one in the world at a sport like the guy that is number two. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that gold medal like the one that only got the silver. So the further you are from something, the less you want to have it. Okay, and I think that's why a lot of poor people are some of the happiest people in the world, because they don't think about being the richest person in the world since they're so far from being that. You know what I'm saying? They're just glad to have a roof over their head. And so, this concept of I should go to the gym, I should work out at the gym. Well, no, I shouldn't. Okay? Because I feel like that would increase my dysphoria, if anything, or if I have dysphoria. And that's something that people don't understand about, gender dysphoria. I believe that the closer you get to looking like a man or passing for a man, the more you feel like you'll never be satisfied. And so if I was to go work out at the gym, I'm just afraid that it would become an obsession and that I would go down the slippery slope like so many of them to thinking that I'm never big enough as far as muscles and, I'm never manly enough because, of course, I never will be a man. Okay, so that's why my strategy is to try to accept myself for what I am and be happy with where I am in life and not aspire to anything more. And that's why, my parents or people don't understand why it is so imperative. You know, right now I'm drying my sheets and they have flowers on them, and my backup sheets are purple. And I have so many sheets, and, you know, I have my bedroom all decorated in feminine things, okay? And I don't want to show it because it's not exactly the neatest room in the world. I have so many dolls and feminine things that no guy would ever have, and I wear jewelry. And people don't understand how imperative that is in fighting gender dysphoria. And what I mean by that, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but like I've stated before, the further you are from something, the less you think about having it. So if I was to wake up in a bedroom that is just so masculine that it looks like an actual boy's bedroom, you know, everything about it is masculine, let's say. Like, let's say it's all decked out in sports, or no, in my case, more of a, like a galaxy theme, like a space theme. Let's say I woke up in a bedroom where the walls are painted blue with stars, and they have astronauts and planets, and, you know, just everything that a little boy dreams of if he likes space. Okay, let's just say, for example, that is my room. Okay, since I'm not into sports. Okay, and all my sheets are blue and masculine colors, and all my clothing are masculine. You know, let's just pretend for a moment that I redid my room and it looked like that. Well, that would increase my dysphoria, believe it or not. You know, it would make me feel more like I'm in the wrong body because I'd be in the wrong bedroom. You know, plain and simple. And that's why I have all this purple stuff and flowery stuff and princess stuff. You know, and I've always had a feminine bedroom because that's all my mom would ever let me have. And the reason why that is imperative for me to have that in order to not feel dysphoric about my body is that no one feels as dysphoric as the person who has everything except the Y chromosome and the body of an actual genetic male. You know what I'm saying? If I was to do that, I feel like it would make me dysphoric. It would be like, I want testosterone 20 years ago, damn it. You know, I'd wake up feeling like, you know, my breasts shouldn't be here and I need to be on testosterone. And I believe, you know, because I don't believe a lot of these people were truly dysphoric. Way back in their high school days when they had long flowing hair and they looked like an ordinary girl, I don't believe that they were dysphoric back then. I honestly don't. I don't believe that they just always had gender dysphoria, but they were afraid to come out. No. I honestly believe that the dysphoria is actually created by the male identity, the male alter ego. And the more people call you that name and the male pronoun, the more you want to live up to that. And that's how you become dysphoric. It's the disconnect between what you're presenting to the world and what you actually are. So by not presenting as a male and not having a masculine bedroom and not working out at the gym, I feel like it actually helps me. And I feel like this video is also way too long.